Hello and welcome back to In the Kitchen with Pen, and today I'm going meat free. Woo! No, I often do. You don't always see my meat free meals, but today this one is worth sharing with you, and it is a roasted butternut squash, red onion and pepper soup. So let's run you through the ingredients. I need red pepper, which I've chopped and put in there. I need red onion that I've chopped and put in the bowl. I need a butternut squash. Now, I've read a hack about butternut squash, so we're gonna see how it works. Aren't I brave? We'll need some oil. As always, it's avocado oil here. We'll need a little cumin, and we'll need some oregano, and we'll need some chili flakes. So this is just for the roasting part. Wait till we start on the soup. Okay, and I've also got an oven tray that I have lined with tin foil. Why have I lined it with tin foil? Well, I had some sitting on the side, this piece, and I thought, well, let's use it. Not necessary. So if you come on down, I'm going to bravely show you this hack, and we'll see together if it works. Right then, allegedly, what you do is you put your knife in your butternut squash, and you just, I need to get my knife in properly. Right, I know what the issue is. This is angled. Let me get another one. And if it doesn't work, I can no longer blame the tools, it's the person using them. Allegedly, what you do is you get your butternut squash, you pop your knife in, and then you're supposed to just move the butternut squash, have I gone in too hard? Backwards and forwards, round and round on your board. And apparently it cuts it. Well, as you can see, that's not happening, so we're just going to cut the butternut squash. Butternut squash you do need a good knife for. Now I've got a flattish edge. I'm going to turn it over and go through the squash that way. I need to remove the seeds. Now you can eat the seeds, so I'm going to scoop them out onto a piece of kitchen towel, and I shall rinse them, and then I shall cook them, and they can be decoration on top of my soup. This soup is just for one. Steve has already decided what, well, Steve has already decided, I've already decided what he's having for dinner, so it won't be roasted butternut squash soup. Right, okay, so they're out. It's just for one. So I'm going to then slice the butternut squash into about 1/2 inch pieces. There we go. And piece. Right, and what we're going to do is I'm going to then cube it. But you may have noticed I'm not peeling it, or I haven't peeled it. I'm just going to cut it into chunks, and I am not peeling it. There isn't any need to, because I can, once this is cooked, I can blend it down and you won't even know it's there. That will create more fibre in my soup, help to thicken the soup, but you really, I promise you, won't know that you're eating the flesh. Right. Oh, I'm really sorry that hack that I'd read didn't work. Perhaps I need to try it next time when I'm not trying to show you and be all flashy. Right, so butternut squash, onions, pepper. Go in with some avocado oil. New bottle, so you have to open it properly. This is like a wine bottle. Look, I've got to take the foil off. Be generous. Nice, good old splash of avocado oil. Then we'll get a teaspoon and go in with approximately a teaspoon of, yes, let's just check, cumin. It just gives a warmth, just a nice warming note. The oregano is a herb that just goes well with these vegetables and in these soup, and that's getting a proper teaspoon full. And then our chilli flakes. Now, we don't want to blow our head off, do we? Do we? No. So we're just going to put, well, probably about a teaspoon in, I guess, maybe a little less. Yeah, maybe about 3/4 of a teaspoon. And then you can get a spoon, or better still, get a glove, purely for this instance because you've got chilli in there and you don't actually, I don't think, want to forget that you've had your hands in chilli and then rub your eyes. So we're just making sure everything gets that covering. I'm going to preheat my oven, which in this case is my Ninja 10-in-1, and we're going to preheat it on roast, and we'll go to 180 and we'll start at 15 minutes. We may need longer, may need less, may need less. Right, so there you go. There is our veggies. They're going into our tray. Do you know what I'm going to put in there as well? I'm going to go in with a little garlic clove or two. Just to add just more flavour. Roasted garlic, absolutely gorgeous. And what I'll do with that is I'll just squash it more than a little. Squashed it quite a bit, didn't I? And I'll do another one. Maybe I'll try not to squash it quite so much. And by squash it, I'm just using the back of the, squash it as much, just the back of the knife. And that will start releasing its flavours. And now, yes, I do need to just, I don't want my garlic burning. So, in we go. That's it. Once this is hot enough, it's going in, number one. And I'm not going to put it on the top, I'm going to put it on the bottom shelf, okay? There we go. In we go. We'll be back when that's done. I'm going to roast the now dried and rinsed and dried butternut squash seeds, and I'm going to do it in there. So I'm using my little mini cast iron skillet, and I need some oil, olive oil, avocado oil. I've got the avocado out, so you know that's what I'm going to use. And then I'm going to pop the seeds into there. Oops, a daisy. Throwing it everywhere. Right, put them in there. Going to add a little salt and pepper. Mix me salt. Oops. And give it a little stir. That, oh, that noise, sorry about that. If that's setting your teeth on edge as much as it is mine, I do apologise. And if it didn't, what's your secret? Now these will take probably about 15 minutes, and I'm going to have to increase the time for the roasted squash because it is not quite soft enough yet anyway. So these are going to go in on the top shelf. I'll increase the time to, I'll go 15 minutes anyway, so that the seeds will be cooked, but no doubt the squash etc will be cooked beforehand, but we shall see. Whilst my squash is baking, I've fried off some very finely diced red onion and some garlic, and I'm now going to add in about 500 ml of vegetable stock. I fried it off, I sautéed it off in a little avocado oil and a small knob of butter. Now, just going to leave that on there, keeping warm, because that's just finished. Right, let's show you this roasted squash now. There we go, roasted squash, tomato, I did think about it, but there is no tomato in there. So we've got the squash, the red onion and the red pepper. And all I'm going to do, if I can, is pop it, or as much as I can in one go, into my blender, and then I'm going to whiz it up. Right, undo the cord. We might have a bit better luck, mightn't we? Right. That is looking like that, and I'm going to pop it in to the soup. Or, well, it will become a soup, won't it? It's not a soup just yet. Oil that's left, that can go in there too. So it's empty. Lid back on, and right. The rest of it is going into the soup, and I'm going to leave that, once I've stirred it through, on a very low simmer for about 10 minutes, and just to give all these flavours a chance to marry together. And once it's had another 10 minutes, I probably will go in there with my hand blender, so I've got a lovely smooth soup. But at the moment, we're just getting all those flavours married together. So we'll see you in 10. Well, it's had its extra few minutes, and I've blended it, and it's spitting at me. It doesn't like me. So what I need to do is to try it. just to see if I need to add any more flavour. And I don't think I do. No. Oh, that's got quite a nice little kick. So, into a bowl. We know. Remember, I toasted off some of the pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin. Butternut squash seeds. Well, I'll pop some of those on top, and I've also got some of the roasted tiny little squares of the squash too. And right then, let's have a little taste of this roasted butternut squash, red pepper, onion, and that's it, isn't it? Soup. That's how it looks. I've put the roasted pips and some of little bits of roasted butternut squash in there too. So that's what we've got. And it has got heat from the chilli, which is nice. It's not overpowering. Don't like chilli or not over keen on it, put less chilli flakes than I did. The seeds are really nice. They add a nuttiness to it. So, no meat, deliciously warming from the heat of the chilli, and just soup is so warming and comforting, isn't it? You could make this without roasting it. It won't taste as good, I promise you. It will not taste as good. Roasting your vegetables just oops up the flavour. Absolutely delicious. So I'm going to go and eat this now, if I don't get deafened by the TV that Steve has on. And if you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Any comments, write them down below. And I'll see you again next time in the kitchen with Pen. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.